Good evening and welcome back to Cricket Analysis by CNE. This is the third test review between West Indies and Australia, and this will be a solo review of how the test match went. We're going to talk about different segments today, talking about how series as it stands, playing 11s, many records broken, and then we're going to talk about the afterthoughts of this after this series. So, without further ado, cue intro. Yep, and this is how the series stands right now. We're going to talk about the pink ball test match held between West Indies and Australia. And this is going to be a very interesting review in the sense that this was a one of a kind test match in front of us. We're going to talk about, of course, the series as it stands. We're going to talk about how Australia are 2-0.
Agni, I can't believe you are starting
अरे
the Australia
no,
versus West Indies intro
hello
without
Vedant.
me.
Good evening, bhai.
This is not done.
No, I was supposed to do this video alone. What are you doing here?
Yeah, but I mean, we did the both the test series, both the test matches together. You are
Huh,
doing this without
but
me.
you were busy shifting, no? You're busy shifting, no?
Was not yet.
Oh,
Now I am done.
well, then welcome back, Vedant. Good evening,
Yeah,
sir.
thank you.
कैसे हैं आप? सब ठीक है?
मैं तो सही हूँ यार, अपना बताओ क्या चल
नहीं
रहा है?
नहीं वो सब ठीक है, बस वेस्ट इंडीज के बारे में बात कर रहा हूँ, आप इंटरप्ट किए हो मुझे, तो वेरी थैंक
अरे
यू फॉर दैट।
मेरे बिना स्टार्ट किया भाई, ऐसे कैसे चलेगा?
ठीक है, तो अभी आ जा, अभी मैं इंट्रोडक्शन किया हूँ, तो नाउ नाउ कम वी गोइंग टू स्टार्ट द टेस्ट
अच्छा, और
मैच, ठीक
आगे
है?
वागे नहीं बढ़ा ना उसके?
नहीं नहीं
पता
नहीं
चला मेरे बिना वीडियो रिलीज कर दिया बिना
हाँ
बोले।
वही हुआ है, वही अभी रिकॉर्डिंग स्टॉप करने वाला हूँ मैं, ठीक है? अभी वीडियो भेजने वाला हूँ।
हाँ, बस।
Jokes apart, Abhi, this is now the test match between West Indies versus Australia, third test match, Vedant, and this is a very interesting test match. You know, this is a lot of single digit scores, you might say, in front of us.
I
And
watched it. I was watching it, and I
uh,
was actually waiting for you to do the review, but I was like,
acha,
Agni कब करेगा review? Agni कब
uh,
करेगा review? आज finally आया
then
Agni
why are
कि
you
अब मैं
here then,
करूँ.
huh?
I am here because you were doing this behind my back. This is
No,
not done.
absolutely not.
हाँ?
I deliberately messaged in the group. Let me show you. Oh shit.
Show.
Draft the omen. Shit, sorry.
अच्छा.
Draft. As you know, Vedant, Australia are up 2-0. They have won the series. They are up a contention for a whitewash right now, and they are quite strong in the series. But you know, WTC cycle has its way of saying that there will be no dead rubber matches, and so is this match because it's a very important test match because West Indies needs to get 12 points to start up their progress in this WTC cycle if they want their chances to get to the WTC maze. So that was the point of discussion talking about here. This is also a very special test match because this is a pink ball test match happening from afternoon to night. And this is pink ball test matches. If you didn't know, pink ball test matches are usually held because, of course, they want to engage audience into a different form of test cricket and also make it a bit more bowling friendly because pink balls are usually known to be in made in that type that they'll have an extra shine in the new in the twilight period and then hence proves to be very difficult for the batsman. So we are going to go now and we are going to talk about the playing 11s, Vedant. And now I need a lot of help from you discussing about what to make sense about why this playing 11 happened. We're going to talk about West Indies. The playing 11 in front of you is quite dramatic because there has been three changes and three very profound changes. One, the biggest name you can see is Craig Brathwaite in front of you, who has played his 100th Test match and now he has been dropped. This really shows that Vedant that this is what the West Indies board has been lacking a lot. The corrupt politics, or maybe just that they don't trust Craig Brathwaite anymore. They said that okay, you have played 100 Test match, now chalo Tata bye bye. That might be the only case then.
No, I don't think it's a chalo Tata bye bye thing because I mean he has been struggling off late.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that they are getting young guys like Anderson and Lewis who
Mm-hmm.
have done very well in their first class format,
Mm-hmm.
having decent averages. So that is something which I think is needed to get young guys and to groom them for the future. So that is a good call. And also one more change was getting, which could be a bit wrong, was getting the left arm off spinner in
Hmm.
Warwick, because I mean in a pink ball cricket, the way the ball is made and the conditions, because of the twilight and the wicket, how the wicket was, it was one which favored the seamers,
Yeah.
which I think no. So hence the off spinner doesn't really make a lot of sense after dropping a medium pacer. So that was one poor call or a error in judgment. But other than that, it was, I would say, bold selection from West Indies.
Yeah. They have made some changes. Just I think just in the regarding in the context of that their top order hasn't been performing, and especially the only difference the sides have created between each other was the batting prowess. The Australian side have had a better
Top
batting
order batting,
top
especially.
order batting, especially top order batting. They have a much superior top order batting compared to West Indies, where they have been quite incapable of making strong partnerships up front in this entire Test series, and especially the fourth innings. So I think that's the move to just change up the top order a bit, get new players in. Where Michael Lewis has made his debut, and Kevlon Anderson is also playing his Test match. So quite some changes, and I feel like when you're desperate, you want to have some changes to get the right combination. So that was the two changes that I've been talking about, and Vedant rightly mentioned that Alex Carty goes out, and now Anderson Phillip also goes out, who is also a medium fast pacer, and Joel Warrican comes in, which who is an off spin left arm off spinner, which is quite unusual in the sense in a pink ball test match where you have made a especially in a pink ball test match where you have made an especially spicy wicket for batsmen against pacers. It really doesn't make much sense to get Warwickon in. But as you might think, Vedant, I feel like the only way I can play a devil's advocate here is that maybe you see that if it's such a spicy wicket, you'll see the teams not staying around for much. And that means that you don't need a big pace battery in front of you. And that's why you want some kind of variation in your attack. Maybe just get another variation if nothing is working. That maybe that's the only reason, but I really don't have any other reason as to why Joel Warrican plays. And especially after Anderson Phillip has done decently well in his test match. So, yep, that is the West Indies change. So their batting order has Jonathan Campbell, Michael Lewis, then Kevlon Anderson, Brandon King, who has done very well in this test series. He was set apart from the complete test side of West Indies. Then, of course, comes Roston Chase, Shai Hope, Justin Greaves, then the pace attack, Zaire Joseph, Shamar Joseph, Jaden Seals, and then Joel Warrican. That is their playing 11. Now we'll go on to the Australian playing 11, Vedant, and talk us through this Australian playing 11, if you please.
Look, I mean, they dropped Nathan Lyon after a really long time.
Hmm.
And I think with the wicket, which I mentioned earlier also, that it was completely for the Pacers. It was dry. There was a lot of grass.
Hmm.
Then with the ping ball during twilight times, night times, there is a lot for the Pacers. So it made a lot of sense. And Scott Boland, when he has gotten his chance, has done very well for Australia.
Hmm.
So that was the only change in Australia. And with that, they have done. I mean, Australia are not do not make a lot of changes, so I mean, there's
Yeah.
no point in actually talking about the 11. But it was a good call. It paid off. Scott Bullen got a hat trick. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You might say it played out very well because of how the scoreline suggests. So the Australian playing 11 has, of course, Khawaja and Constance opening. Constance has had particularly a bad series. He has played 3 test matches and has a bad series, so it'll be important to see if they back him in the Ashes. Then, of course, Cameron Green, the new number 3, Steve Smith, Travis Head, Beau Webster, Alex Carey, the usual subsets, and the pace battery of Cummins, Stark, Hazelwood, and now Scott Boland. So it makes a very formidable bowling lineup because all of the top 4 bowlers, all the 4 bowlers are part of the top 10 ICC Test rankings, which show that they are humongous in quality, and especially the West Indies batting has a lot to contend with. Going to the toss, Australia has won the toss again. They have won all tosses this time, and in all occasions they have chosen to bat first. It's a conventional thought process, so why not? And they thought that always it has been the case in West Indies that if you make a pacey wicket, the pitch crumbles and it gets particularly hard to play again in the fourth innings to chase, and that has been the case till now. So we'll go on to the first innings now, talking about how Australia have done in the first innings and how they have used their advantage. Talking about the first innings now, Vedant, quite a happy number you'll see where Steve Smith and Cameron Green have top scored with 40s, and then Cummins has a blistering 24 that has led to Australia getting a 225 with a very good 4 by Shamar Joseph. He has always been amongst the wickets. Jaden Seals and Justin Reeves have done very well as well for the three first, getting all the 10 wickets. 225, Vedant, what do you make of it? What do you feel like was
I
it a
mean,
good
with the
part total?
wicket 220, yeah, sorry, with the wicket 225 was a very good score again. I mean,
Hmm.
and the people who have done well in the usual suspects, so nothing
Yeah,
a lot to talk about them. I mean, you mentioned Green, Smith, and Cummins, that of course top three scorers, but also Travis Head and Alex Carey, 21 and 20. So,
yeah,
including these guys, these five guys, and so have done well to take 225, which on this wicket was actually above par.
yeah.
So yeah, first innings was Australia did very well to get there.
Yeah, so yes, this was the first innings of Australia where they scored a decent 225, and as Vedant has said, quite a part total. It was a good part total by Australia. As you'll see in the second innings, how West Indies have replied to this total, which doesn't seem daunting at first. In the twilight period now, in the second innings, you'll
Agni, I
see.
think before you move on to the second innings, and also I think I just missed one point basically
What?
that you earlier you mentioned that Sam Constance has struggled. I mean, he in this series, he has had, of course, with he's replacing Manas Labuschagne,
Mm,
so that is of course big shoes to fill. And although his scores might be on the lower side, and yes, he has not done well, but at least in the first innings with getting 17 runs, he has done really well. Why? Because if you see his wicket fell in the 16th over, although Australia were 28 for 1 when the first wicket fell, the fact that he played out the new ball, it
yeah,
helped Cameron Green and Smith when they came in. It the conditions eased up for them comparatively. So Sam Constance, although on the scorecard it is a 17, however, I would say a very important 17 because it essentially he played out the first 16 overs.
yeah, it is a very fair point, Vedant, because I feel like openers are very underrated in the sense that they play the new ball, and it's very tough to play with the new ball, of course, when the ball is seaming and moving. So it's always, I think David Warner himself said that I feel like Rohit Sharma and himself have should have the credit for half the runs of Steve Smith and Virat Kohli. So he said that statement, and to an extent, it's correct in the sense that they are responsible for playing on the uh, new ball and then getting Virat Kohli and Steve Smith to play the old ball. So yeah, fair point. But now we go on now to the second innings. In the second innings, West Indies have replied with a very shallow-looking 143, trailing by 82 runs, with top scorers Jonathan Campbell, who had to come on 2 down due to some timing and injury errors, and then
Hmm.
Hope and Roston Chase both having 18s. With the bowling being very strong by Australia, Boland has a very handy 3-4 with Cummins having a 2 and Hazelwood also having the same wickets, 2 wickets. Yes, Vedant, same story. West Indies batting hasn't been as strong as one would imagine, or not has been. It has been challenging. Yes, challenging conditions, especially with the pink ball. But you'll feel like they could have batted more responsibly in the sense that they could have tried to form a partnership on the top. It's the same case again. They haven't been strong at the top, and therefore, while trying to recover things, Hope and Chase also perished. What do you think?
See, I mean, of course, look, the attempt was there for from the West Indies because I mean, their second they lost their first wicket in the fourth over for 11 runs and the second wicket in the 16th over with 28 runs. So I
Yeah,
mean, to say that there was not an attempt would be wrong. They tried. However, I mean, if you compare them to the Aussies, they are simply insufficient, will be a good way to put it. I mean, the batting, not the bowling, the batting.
mm,
So that that is there. But they tried. I would not. They tried, and I mean, it is of course disappointing to see that over the period, this is a downfall that right now the team is nowhere close to the Aussies.
yeah.
But however, the effort was there. The
Hmm.
result didn't show. Both are in
Yeah,
agreement.
and I see in the
effort
scorecard
was
right
there.
now. I can see in the scorecard as well that Justin Reeves, who has also scored 18, got run out. So I feel like they could have avoided that such kind of things. They tried as well. Yes, I think that was wrong of you saying that they did not try. They tried to post a decent second
So,
innings total.
Agni, yeah, I think more see the if one just looks at the scorecard, then of course it is a very difficult
Hmm.
thing to gauge how this it went from there. I mean, in the case of Cameron Green, how if the scorecard shows 17, but it was the 16th over when he got out. In the case of in West Indies, that the second wicket fell in the 16th over, so it was they tried to play out the new ball and then score. Maybe that after that, I think Campbell scored a 36 and Roston Chase an 18.
Yeah.
So maybe if I mean I had the 36 be converted to a 50, 60, and a 18 to a 28, 30, although it's hypothetical. But to be a bit fair to them, I mean, in such fast tracks which favor the fast bowlers, you are actually never set. So
Yeah.
any ball can have your wicket written on it.
Hmm.
So I would say even to reach to a 143, West Indies did very well.
Okay, but they have a trail of 82 runs, and you said that they couldn't convert the starts they had, and especially as I said in the scores, 36, 18, and 18. So 20, 20, 20, you can take out of them, and that's 60 runs itself. So it feels like that maybe those starts, if they could have converted, could have been a better chance for them to compete. But really, it's a tough wicket to bat on at the start, and I feel like Jonathan Campbell, who hasn't had a best, has his had his best series, had a solid start. He was solid in his batting, and as far as I've seen him, I have not seen a lot of him, but as far as I've seen him in some of the India series they have played in the West Indies, he is a solid batsman. He has capability to convert it, but he has not till now. So I hope that West Indies back him because I feel like he's a solid opener. He is better at number 4 this time, but I feel like if he has that kind of a solid technique, I feel like he can be a very good opener for West Indies coming forward. So yeah, this is the first innings of West Indies where they scored 143, despite of the talk that West Indies have tried their best or they have tried as well. They couldn't muster the Australian first innings and they trailed by a mammoth 82. Why mammoth? Because the pitch further crumbles and it becomes even more dangerous to bat on. So maybe an 82 looks like a 250 or something as well because it's
200, 150, yeah.
yeah. So it's that kind of a test match where small runs make a huge difference, and that's why we're going to talk about the third innings of Australia of how they played at it as well. In the third innings, Australia they got bundled out quite cheaply, 121. You can't say a lot in the sense that they have batted badly because it was, of course, good bowling by West Indies in the start because they completely ripped through the Australian middle order to get them to that kind of a total. But other than that, I feel like it was also a dangerous wicket to bat on, and they batted in the toilet as well. So getting 121 is also quite of a lucky target they could have set because the only fluent scorer you can see in the top scorers is Cameron Green, who has scored another 40 plus with Head at 16 and Khawaja at 14. With again Shaman Joseph having a very good test match, having 8 wickets in the test match with another 4 for. Then Alzari Joseph, I didn't
Hmm.
credit him as a very probing bowler because he has been inconsistent at parts. But this innings, he has used his conditions well and he has very well deserved his fifer because he has been probing and he has been very on tight. And I completely believe in this ideology that in helpful tracks and in non-helpful tracks, you need to be consistent at your length to get wickets. And that's what Alzari Joseph has done, and he has got the wicket. And also, you can also account for Justin Cleeves getting a solitary wicket as well. So Australia get to 121, setting a target of 204. Uh, you'll see that this innings has not been the best from Australia, where they wanted 150 or something because they were going for that kind of a part where the Cameron Green also tried to be a bit aggressive, but then got out to 99 for 7, and then the tail enders tried to muster up 20 more runs. But it feels like that 204 in this wicket, where it's spicy in nature, and then we'll talk about how it is a very tough wicket to bat on as well. With suppose the best Australian bowling lineup, I feel like they have the best bowling lineup in this generation. I feel like because they all the 4 bowlers are in high class and they are in the top 10 rankings. So it's very hard to comprehend. But I would feel like where in this kind of innings, I feel like if Cameron Green didn't score a 40, I feel like if he got a 20 as well, this would account for 100. So getting a 40 here shows that Cameron Green really fits the number 3 role, Vedant.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
I mean, in if I'm not wrong, in the first match or even in the WTC, he struggled a bit,
Yeah, yeah.
but he was coming from injury, so of course, coming
Mm.
from injury is tough. But it's good to see that the management has backed him. And I mean, 40 on a score again, 40 on a scorecard might look like a 40, but in this, it is
Really.
a very, very good score.
Mm.
So he
Yeah.
has played very well, and it is because of him Australia reached 121.
Mm.
Uh,
Or they would have been
and
like 70 all out or something like that because it
yeah,
was.
however, I mean, 70 all out of 100, I mean, it is not a batting worry for Australia. The wicket was a very difficult one to bat in.
Mm.
And already they were 82 runs ahead. So, I mean, really, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, it was, yeah, a good innings and as a very good innings from Cameron Green, the
Mm.
batsman.
Yeah. It was needed from Australia to get a number 3 who is scoring well, and especially a 40 like this in a tough wicket shows that Cameron Green fits the role and also is capable of batting at the top of the order as well. Because people have questioned that Cameron Green is not fit for it because he had a series of low scores. We can talk about the WTC final. We can talk about even the initial matches as well in the West Indies series. He has not done well, but this time round he has done very well, and 40 is a very good score. And I feel like in coming to the Ashes, Cameron Green will have a very good tour. Not tour at home. I think he'll be very good because it shows that this 40 has shown that he can be a very probing batsman for the Englishman. Well, now we'll go on to the chase of how West Indies responded, and we'll go on to the fourth innings. Well, to break it down to everyone here, this innings is a record breaking one, not a very happy record breaking one for the West Indies, though, because as you can see in front of you, West Indies have been bowled out for 27. Uh, and with the top scorers, I guess, is Justin Greaves, who is the only one who has gotten to double digits. Then
Double
Alzar,
digits, yes.
yeah, only one to get to his double digits, and Alzari Joseph and Michael Lewis having the solitary 4 runs. I mean, yeah, it's very. I don't want to mention the batting scorecard, but I want to mention the bowling scorecard where Mitchell Stark in his 100th Test match. We have not talked about him enough, so we'll talk about him now. Mitchell Stark has been a very consistent bowler. He's been a disciplined bowler for the Aussies, and we talk about how Nathan Lyon has been the most consistent player for Australia and how he has been in every condition he has done well. But nothing to take from Mitchell Stark as well because Mitchell Stark has been one of them as well. In Australia, he has been, I think, one of the best. He's up there in one of the best pacers for Australia in recent history. And this 100 Test match actually shows why he is so and why people should contend him to be at the top because it's very important that Mitchell Stark should be respected in the sense that he has done very well. But getting a 5 wicket haul in a matter of 1.3 overs, Vedant, is it something that is laughable upon? Because it's 20. They got out for 27. It's the second lowest total in Test cricket history, international Test cricket history, to get bowled out for 27. It's, I think, perhaps one of the most shameful days for the West Indian cricketers because getting bowled out for 27 is even on a toughest wicket, it can be a very tough wicket. But getting bowled out for 27 should be like it's hurtful, it's shameful, and at the same time, it will affect the team for a long period of time because 27 is nothing something you predict or hope for even as a bowling side. So, what do you feel West Indies could have done better, or you feel like they just accepted their fate?
No, see, I mean, to be a bit fair on them, I don't think it's embarrassing, yes. But again, the way Mitchell Stark bowled, the way he got the in-swinging Yorkers,
Mm.
majority of them were actually unplayable. I mean, of course, as a batsman, you will predict that it is going to be that it is going to be on your toe, it is going to come in swing towards the angling in the wicket, leg before bowled, which all the batsmen got out that way only. The one the wicket Stark to. So, but the thing is, again, just how good he is. I mean, he for Australia to play 100 matches and to have the kind of stats that he has. Uh, I mean,
Being a pacer, because
being a
pacers
pacer,
really have a.
exactly, being a pacer.
mm,
with all the injuries coming back. So to handle the class of him on such a track, especially with those deadly in
in
swinging
swingers.
Yorkers,
Yeah.
I mean, to the batsman, it was actually nightmarish.
Mm,
And West Indies don't have that capability to handle that, which obviously showed.
mm,
So, I mean, 27, yeah, I mean, to make it not embarrassing, yes, maybe 27, some runs that it is not so low,
mm.
but eventually, just I was in awe of the way Middlestark bowled.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was not as if the West Indies gave their wickets to poor deliveries or something. It was some deadly Yorkers all coming in and hitting the wicket. And by the time you could even put the bat down, the wicket was already on the ground. So, or the ball had hit your toe, and so either of that.
Yeah,
So,
we'll come to Scott Bullen, but really, in the quoting Ian Bishop here, he said that it's a surrender to a supreme Australian bowling side because it really seemed like so because the way the wickets were falling like nine pins, you'd feel like this was they had no hopes and they had when they came on to bat, you see their body language as well. It was not of intent; it was of despair. So it was it's sad and it's embarrassing, yes, but it's sad also in the sense that West Indies, we hope a lot of good cricket from West Indies, but here you clearly see the difference between the top side in the world versus the mediocre or like a top 10 ranked side like West Indies, and how, of course, the cricket board has not handled them well, and how this has come up to be that result. And especially this 27 all out is symbolic to the fact of how this test series went on as well, because at parts, West Indies were competitive, but they really succumbed in the last part of the game where they couldn't really chase the any total actually. So at this point, West Indies lost by 176 runs. Again, it looks like a mammoth loss and it looked like a one-sided match. But again, in the third match, it didn't seem like so. It was competitive at a big margin where the West Indian bowlers, again, I mentioned Shama Joseph, Alzari Joseph, Justin Greaves, they have been very competitive and they have really ripped through the Australian batting lineup as well. But really, the batting capabilities of both these teams are at different levels, and that's really showed. And especially the bowling as well at parts, because you saw how Mitchell Stark came about, and then Scott Bullen taking not yet another, but an Australian hat trick to dismiss the tail. So again, Scott Boland, great bowler. I feel I have a lot of expectations from him as a bowler coming forward. He's of 32 of age, so he's an experienced bowler, not in internationally, but of course he has played 10 Test matches and he has shown that he's well enough capable to be one of the top bowlers in the world. And especially if suppose one of these people retire, like Mitchell Stark or Hazelwood retire, then there's no problem for Australia coming forward that Scott Boland will be a very threatening upcoming bowler for Australia in the future. So again, he deserves the hat trick, and it's very funny in the way how he has achieved the hat trick because one was of bowled, then an LBW, and then a caught. So all three types of dismissals you see in Test cricket usually has happened. So it was symbolic, but it also curtailed West Indians' hopes to have some sort of a one have to win one Test match to some kind of end the Test series in a good note. So Australia whitewashed West Indies, and we go on to the afterthoughts now, where I want to tell Vedant. I want to ask Vedant to summarize this Test series for us because I feel like this 3-0 whitewash doesn't suggest that it was a whitewash completely.
look, I think you have summarized it pretty well. I don't think I have to add a lot to that. And only thing is that West Indies, I hope they go from strength to strength in the future. And all again, as you have mentioned, the margins of losses are quite big, but West Indies have played competitive cricket, and it was. I watched the Test series, so for me to watch it, it was a very good one, and I had a
Yeah.
good time watching it. So that is what I can say about it.
And I had a very good time covering it with you as well, Vedant,
Yeah,
because
both of us, both of us.
yeah,
I'd say both of us.
yeah, this three test series, I feel like was very enjoyable to watch because one, you'd say that West Indies isn't as competitive as Australia in the sense that their quality isn't as matched with Australia's. But as much as we criticize West Indies for getting all out, I feel like this was a good series for them in the sense that it shows that they have competitive spirit, and then having the strength to have the guts to compete with Australia, especially targeting their batting area, and then showing that we also can compete is a very good sign for their, of course, the bowling lineup, because their bowling lineup has been exceptional. It's really the Mitchell Stark 6 for and the Boland 3 for may have covered it, but you can't take away how the bowlers have performed. It's really was something that was amazing and was a sight to watch. We have seen a glimpse of that in the pink ball test match in Australia, where West Indies won that test match of Shamar Joseph. But here, as a collective bowling unit, they have done very well, and they have nothing less to be proud of. They're not nothing to be less proud of, because they have done very well. And
Exactly.
but other than that, their batting, they have to work on it. They have to go to their thinking chairs again and get it fixed, because I feel like that's the only department they need to fix ASAP, because batting is the backbone of the innings and they need to do it well. So we
Yeah,
hope the
and cut you off, Agni. Craig, not Craig Baspreth, Roston Chase has also said that before the upcoming India series, which is the next test assignment, they are going to have a lot of camps to focus on that.
yeah,
So
it's very
hope they do
important for
well.
them to do so, because I also want, despite us covering India more, I feel like when we cover the India West Indies series, I feel like I want West Indies to be competitive. I want West Indies to be showing a spirit and fight that no, not going to let you walk over us, because I feel like they have improved in test cricket. I feel like in the last decade, it felt like West Indies weren't a competitive team because they have been very poor in that sort of form. But this series showed that they're competing and they're trying hard to get back their status. So that is what is important. And we hope the best for West Indies. But this time it's Australia winning 3-0, and this is the end of the test series, where it has been a magnificent test series. But till then, we are going to cover a lot more. The T20 series is upcoming as well. They have it's halfway through. After T20 series, we're going to cover it.
Fourth match is through. It'll complete soon.
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, we have to do that.
yeah. So we need to do that. We need to complete. We're going to do a complete series video of the T20 series and other series as well. We're covering the whole
The
match.
match review.
Huh? Huh?
The fourth test review.
Fourth
Fourth
test?
test review.
There is no fourth
Arey,
test in
India,
this. That is
India.
another series. But I feel like this is the CNE landmark, because this is the first ever full test series completed by us. And this was West Indies Australia tour, and it's a great series that happened. So we are quite proud that we did this, and we hope that you guys who are watching enjoyed this as well. But till then, again, it's good night from me. Good night, Vedant. And till then,
Good night.
yeah.
And next time inform me if you're happy. Don't
Next time I want to send that message.
Yeah, not on draft.
Yeah, not on draft. But a lot of mistakes to be rectified. But till then, it's good
Okay,
night.
I'll switch. I'll leave you. You do the outro. Already
Yeah.
you've done it. Do it again.
Okay.
Goodbye from my
Cue
side.
the outro music. Yes, left me. But okay, cue the outro music now, editor, please.